Imagine growing up with two fathers, each offering you advice on how to navigate life, work, and money. The catch is that their rules completely contradict each other. One dad represented the pinnacle of academic excellence. He earned full scholarships, completed his PhD, and studied at prestigious universities. He worked incredibly hard his entire life, yet he constantly struggled with money and eventually passed away, leaving behind unpaid bills. The other dad never even finished the 8th grade. He possessed no formal credentials, yet he bypassed the traditional system entirely to build an empire, eventually becoming one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. When a PhD leads to debt, while an 8th grade education leads to a fortune, it suggests academic success and financial intelligence are governed by two entirely separate sets of rules. We spend over a decade in classrooms, memorizing history dates and algebra formulas. But because the subject of capital is entirely absent from the curriculum, we graduate completely illiterate regarding how to generate, protect, or multiply wealth. Without an intentional financial education, we inherit the default programming of the middle class. We are handed a rigid set of instructions: study hard, find a secure job, pay your bills on time, and save whatever is left over at the end of the month. This programming breeds a specific kind of mental laziness. When you look at something expensive and state, "I can't afford it," your brain goes to sleep. It accepts defeat. But when you ask the question, "How can I afford it?" your mind is forced to activate and solve the problem. This chart shows the real value of a savings deposit. If you lock away 10 lakh rupees, inflation acts as a continuous tax. The nominal number on your screen stays the same, but the actual purchasing power of that money decays every year. Relying purely on saving your way to wealth guarantees a mathematical loss. To survive in a modern economy, the default programming must be abandoned. The wealthy operate in a different reality because they use a different financial vocabulary. Their entire worldview is built around identifying two specific concepts: assets and liabilities. The middle class consistently buys heavy, depreciating liabilities, like taking out a massive auto loan for a brand new car, or absorbing the taxes and maintenance of a massive primary home, and they falsely classify these purchases on their balance sheets as assets. A true asset has a very strict definition. It is an entity that puts money into your pocket without requiring your active physical labor. This means acquiring rental properties that generate monthly cash flow, or buying stocks that pay regular dividends. Your financial class isn't determined by the size of your paycheck. It is determined by your accuracy in identifying and acquiring actual assets. In the middle class cycle, salary flows in, diverts into massive expenses and debt, leaving savings empty. The wealthy restructure this entirely. Income routes straight to assets first. The remainder covers expenses. Those assets produce passive income, immediately looped back to purchase even more assets. Financial freedom is an engineered, self-feeding mechanical system. It is built by design. The traditional employee faces a punishing mathematical sequence. You earn your paycheck, the government immediately extracts its tax share directly from your check, and you attempt to survive on whatever is left over. This comparison of the two tax sequences shows the structural advantage of the investor. A business owner earns money, legally deducts their operating and lifestyle expenses first, and only pays tax on the small fraction remaining at the bottom of the bucket. The legal tax code is mathematically designed to reward people who operate as producers and investors, and to extract wealth from those who act strictly as consumers. If you are working continuously just to generate enough cash to cover next month's bills and debt obligations, you are trapped in the rat race. People attempt to escape through lotteries, highly leveraged day trading, or betting apps. These shortcuts don't build sustainable systems. They only accelerate wealth destruction. This line graph illustrates the exact mathematical crossover point for financial freedom. It is the specific moment the upward curve of your passive income permanently intersects and exceeds the flat line of your monthly living expenses. True wealth is measured in time, not currency. It is the ability to sustain your standard of living indefinitely without ever having to sell your physical labor again. The final trap of the middle class is the illusion of the perfect time. People tell themselves they will begin investing only after they secure a higher salary or once the market crashes. Because of the mechanics of compound growth over 20 to 50 years, starting with a very small contribution today yields a significantly higher mathematical return than waiting years to make a massive contribution tomorrow. You have a choice. You can remain loyal to the default programming and spend your life working for money, or you can begin building the machine that puts money to work for you. Your ultimate destination, whether you end up exhausted and trapped or entirely free, is decided by the logic you choose to operate under right now.